Madam Clerk, I have roll, please.
Mayor John Eric Hoover,
Here.
Vice Mayor Linda Rodriguez. Here. Councilman David Mueller,
Here.
Councilman Robert Hubbard,
Here.
Councilwoman Lisa Burke,
Here.
City Attorney Nancy Meyer,
Here.
City Manager Matthew Koppler.
Here. Thank you. Okay, first up is comments from the general public. I do not have any signed up. Would anybody, by show of hands, like to speak? Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back to comments from the city manager. I'll pass it to Mr. Koppler for his comments.
No comments tonight.
Really? And
Keep your own night.
that's true. Next up, we have our public hearings, which is obviously the main source of our meeting tonight. These were heard back on October 22nd, the first three. What we're going to do is kind of lump these together because they all kind of go together, but we'll vote on them separately. So first off, I need to see if there's any additional comment that needs to be added from staff or the applicant.
City staff has some.
So city staff, okay.
Yeah.
So, and I need to have you swear in.
Oh, okay.
That's correct, right?
Just bend the applicant to in case he's
Stand
Plans
right
on.
to right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And then can you
Oh.
This is to you.
legislative. No quasi-judicial personnel. I know. Well, so zoning is a precedent. Change that too. And there's
Okay, ready?
Yep.
So my name is Tammy Vrana with Vrana Consulting and Safety Harbor, and I serve as your on-call city planner. And tonight we have three different comprehensive plan requests. The first one is a request for a text amendment. As the mayor mentioned, this came to the city council on October 22nd, at which time the council approved a motion to approve the request with modifications, and I'll go over those modifications in a bit. So the purpose of the public meeting is to review the proposed text amendment to the comprehensive plan, to consider the state agency comments, to provide opportunity and consider public comments, and to take final action on the ordinance number 24-705, and of course to comply with all legal requirements. The request was to amend the goals, objectives, and policies of the city's comprehensive plan, add a new future land use category. The category is referred to as Cody River Landing. Before, we decided to strike the US 19 corridor because the map area changed at the first meeting. So there's no need to reference US 19 because it does go all the way to the waterfront. And I'll show you a map in just a second. So this is the text for this new future land use category. And within this, you'll see where we have struck the US 19 corridor throughout. So I'm not going to read through these because you've gone through them before, but we have the text here in case anybody has any questions. So there's the first deletion of US 19 corridor. And here's the second one. I believe that we dropped the non-residential development, so we refer to the new future land use category establishes the maximum residential density and development intensity. We wanted to make sure that it's residential and non-residential that relates to that intensity measure. So I believe that was dropped at the October 22nd meeting. Here's another reference to the US 19 corridor. And also at that meeting, a modification was made to, or we had three different scenarios, and this is the one that was selected. City Council went with the Planning and Zoning Board's recommendation for the text as well as the map area. Here's another reference to the corridor, US 19 corridor. Here's section 3, another one. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. And that's it. So at the October 22nd City Council meeting, after the motion was approved, by virtue of that, Council authorized staff to send the comprehensive plan text amendment to the state land planning agencies and the other review agencies. On December 30th, we received comments back from the state. They usually have a report that they call an objections, recommendations, and comments. So if it's an objection, it's something that you need to address. These were simply comments for the city's consideration. The one is that we take that map which is called the Land Use Strategy Map, FLU-11 Land Use Strategy Map, and to actually adopt that as part of the text amendment. So before it was just in the map series, but we went ahead and added that to the ordinance. And at the bottom, this is something that would be addressed at the time of rezoning and also a site plan review, is to look at actions and strategies that would mitigate the potential effect of the amendment on hurricane evacuation clearance times and available shelter space. And you also have policies in your comprehensive plan that address shelter space. Your proposed conservation and coastal management element does include an evacuation clearance time level of service standards. So just aside information.
And one thing, when you flip through those, if you go back to the big and far, it still sits.
It was wrong there.
Yeah, it should be 40.
Oh, yes, so we changed that. That's correct.
Everybody's aware it's
Yeah,
40.
this is like an old slides. Yes, it should be 40. Thank you. So that's the end of that presentation. I'll go on to the next. Oops, is it all together? There we go. So the next request is for a future land use map amendment. And these are for two sets of properties. So I'm going to go through the first one. Located, well, let me just go this way. So it's located at 5419 Treadway Drive and 7944 Bayview Street. And the purpose of the public hearing is the same as for the last, with the exception of the reviewing state agency comments. Because these are small-scale future land use map amendments, they don't need to go to the state. So that's the only thing that's different there. So this is the subject parcels. The request is to amend the future land use map from the current future land use designation of commercial mixed use to the proposed Cody River Landing, which is the new category. And that's it. That's what we have there. So the next one is for a property located at 8095 US Highway 19. And it's also for a future land use map amendment request. Same purposes apply. This is a picture of the subject parcel. The request is to change the future land use map category from commercial mixed use to the new Cody River Landing. And with that, I will answer any questions that you have. I'll try to.
Do we need to do that?
fine. No, you can
Okay.
answer.
Any questions for Pam? Thank you. Appreciate it. And so now I'll open up. Applicant has anything to add? Yeah.
Doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to if you don't want to.
I think you've heard enough from me.
All right. Very well.
I appreciate it.
All right. Okay. That being said, I bring it back to council for discussion and or motion.
And if I can, before we start.
you read by title?
Yep, well, before that even, since we have changed, or are proposing to change the name to Cody River Landing, the title of your ordinance has actually changed. It was advertised as it was stated before, but it has changed moving forward if you choose to change the name. So I would like to get a consensus from council to change the name. So the title I'm about to read is actually correct.
Okay. Is there any objection to changing the title? And while we're at it, do we demand
And
as well?
there's also 24 ordinance 24704 has an exhibit A now, which is the map that Tammy mentioned a moment ago. That obviously wasn't attached before. I just want to make sure there's a consensus that it's okay to agreement to attach that map.
Any objections to attaching the map? Okay.
So
So we'll do number one, read by title, and we'll vote.
okay. First one's ordinance number 24704, an ordinance of the city of Port Richey, Florida, amending the city of Port Richey comprehensive plan, ordinance number 88-382 as amended, providing for a text amendment to the future land use category by amending policy L.1.1.1 to add the Cody River Landing future land use category, providing for up to 40 units per acre and 2.0 floor area ratio, providing for purpose and intent, providing findings, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Okay. And actually, we need to make sure we get public comment on these. So I'm going to open it up for public comment now on item number one, second reading of ordinance number 24704. Any public comment? I have no sign up. Show of hands. Seeing none, I bring it back for potential motion and vote. And I'll close the public hearing for item number one. And just, so in the motion, they don't need to reference those changes, right? Okay.
Just a motion to approve the ordinance number would be sufficient.
Motion to approve ordinance number 24-704.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll put to a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, item number 2. Pass that to Nancy for reading.
Ordinance number 24-705, an ordinance of the city of Port Richey, Florida, amending the future land use map by changing the map use category for parcel number 2925160020 06200 0010 and parcel number 3225160270 00200 0010 is more fully described herein, providing for an effective date.
Okay, I have, again, I'm going to open up for public comment for the public hearing. I have no signups. Does anybody from the public like to speak? Seeing no hands, I bring it back for motion or discussion. And I close the public hearing.
Motion to approve 24-705.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is item number 3. I pass it to Nancy for reading.
Ordinance number 24-706, an ordinance of the city of Port Richey, Florida, amending the future land use map by changing the land use category for parcel number 2925160000 03200 0000 and parcel number 2925160000 03200 0010 is more fully described herein and providing for an effective date.
Okay, I'll open the public hearing. Is there any public comment? Again, I have no signed up. Nobody signed up. Does anybody from the public like to speak? Seeing none, I bring it back for a motion or discussion.
Do we need to amend this to take off the US 19 corridor?
We did.
Yeah, for by consensus before.
With by consensus, they've agreed to do that, and the new documents, the new documents that I've sent have proper wording. Got to watch me since I thought we were doing quasi-judicial hearings today, so. Okay.
And the 40 is in here, the 40 units.
40.
Yes, I verified
That's
That
correct.
slide was wrong.
I was trying to run through it.
That was
I
in
didn't see that.
704 in the
Okay,
red lines.
thank you.
And actually, just be aware that was actually actioned in item 1.
Yes.
So-
Motion to adopt ordinance 24-706.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I just want to say a few things. So I want to thank all the staff that's been part of this. I want to thank the public for all the engagement throughout the process. We've had various meetings in regarding all 3 of these, and I just want to thank for all time. This is really transformational for the city of Port Richey. I think this is going to unlock a lot of capability that we've really not had. And so I thank for all participation, again, staff, council, and the public. And I look forward to seeing what projects become of these changes. So, but again, transformation for the city, and I want to thank everybody for their time. So that being said, look for, we get a motion second? Okay, so I got a motion second. Any further discussion? That being said, I'll put it to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have item number 4. I'll pass that to Nancy for reading.
Ordinance number 24-708, an ordinance of the city of Port Richey, Florida, amending the city of Port Richey comprehensive plan, ordinance number 88-382, as amended to add a property rights element as required by and in conformity with section 163.31776I Florida statute, providing for inclusion in the city of Port Richey comprehensive plan, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
And again, I'll ask, is the staff have any additional stuff on this? This was what we found out, something we needed to adopt a long time ago. I think this was actioned first reading on November 26th. Is that correct? Yeah. And so is there anything staff would like to add? And there's no applicant to the city. So that being said, I'll open up for public comment. I have no signups. Anybody in the public like to comment? Okay, so close the public hearing there. I'll bring it back for a motion or discussion.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt 24-708.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have old business. Any old business discussion?
I want to just bring up about Mr. Colombo.
Oh, yes. I was going to do that in my
Um,
comments, but we can do it now.
I'm sure many people realize that he sat on council for many years and he passed away yesterday morning. So I just want to send his family our wishes, or my wishes for them. That he fought a long time, and he fought for our city for a very, very long time. I know many people did not, and sometimes I didn't always agree with his decisions, but that's okay. He truly wanted what was best for the city. So my condolences to his family.
I concur. And just so everybody knows, I was actually going to wait till next week's meeting when we have the pastor here, and I was going to have a moment of silence for him as well.
That would be great then as well.
I want to recognize that. But since the pastor wasn't here tonight, and no prayer, I wanted to go ahead and hold that till next week.
Yes,
So
that would be nice as well.
Does anybody know if there's any funeral arrangements being made?
It just happened yesterday morning, so I don't know of any. I haven't heard of anything.
any other old business? Okay, seeing none, I'll move to comments from Mayor and City Council. I'll start with Vice Mayor Rodriguez. Is there anything else you want?
No, that was all I had to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. Councilwoman Burke?
No.
Councilman Hubbard? Councilman Mueller?
I think I'm good.
I have to go home.
Motion to adjourn.
Hold on.
Get back in your lane.
Yeah, if you could let the record show that Dave Mueller had no comments. Okay, and he's also a pain. Let's get better. So I don't have any comments as well. As like I said, I was going to bring up about Bill, but again, next council meeting, we'll have Pastor here. We're going to have
Yes.
a moment of silence for
Thank
him. And I'll reiterate exactly what Linda said. You know, Bill, longtime citizen, just a wealth of knowledge, wealth of history. He will be sorely missed. Again, me and him didn't see eye to eye, but I will say that there's one time in council meeting, I can't remember which one it was. We exchanged something, and I said something about a hug or whatever. Well, after the meeting, I actually said, "Bill, here's that hug I promised," and so I got to hug him, and I'll remember that forever. Again, we didn't see eye to eye on everything, but I really respected the man, and he was his service with the city is really probably unmatched.
It was.
I don't know how long he served on the city. I know he's acting mayor a couple times, several terms as council, but we'll be sorely missed, and we'll recognize him again next week on Tuesday. So that being said, I will entertain the motion. I'll give it to Dave. I guess he wants to.
I'll second it.
Okay, there you go. So if I can have that motion, Dave.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.